No, that title's not clickbait. Yes, I am advocating for you to spend less time and less ammo at the range, but it's because you're probably not doing this at home, which could be giving you more improvement with less money invested. Let me explain. So a lot of people don't think about it this way, but shooting is absolutely a martial art. Now, what is a martial art? Well, if we take the first word of that, martial, if we go to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, we look up martial, and it means of, relating to, or suited for war or a warrior, which is what most martial arts historically were. If you look at karate, if you look at judo, if you look at whatever your chosen thing is, it is related to being able to go and fight or to defend yourself. And that's what shooting is, especially shooting with a concealed carried handgun. This is the way that people defend themselves in the modern era. So we should be approaching it with the same amount of respect and with rigor that we would with a traditional martial art. So let's think about, one of the best martial arts movies of all time, The Karate Kid. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's absolutely amazing. How much time in The Karate Kid does Daniel San actually spend getting into fights with people? Little bit, but not a whole lot. Most of the runtime of the movie, he's not actually getting into fights. He's hanging around with Mr. Miyagi and he's getting trained in the ways of karate, and he's not even realizing that he's doing it. Because he thinks of training as what all the other kids are doing in the dojo, which is they're throwing themselves around and they're getting into fights with each other and they're practicing that way. And don't get me wrong, that has its benefit. The same way that going to the range absolutely has its benefits. You should be going to the range. I am not telling you not to go to the range. I'm telling you that you should be dry firing. What is dry firing? Dry firing is basically just pulling the trigger without having ammunition in the gun. Long story short. Now, we're not just doing that. We're not just idly sitting here watching VTubers and pulling the trigger on our firearm. No, what we're doing is we're isolating all of the fundamentals of a shot. We're talking about draw. We're talking about establishing a good firing grip. We're talking about sight alignment. We're talking about trigger press. The only thing that we can't practice with dry fire is follow through because we don't have recoil. Now, there are fantastic training implements out there like airsoft guns that actually do have reciprocating slides, so you can get trigger reset and get a little bit of motion. It's not as much as you get with a full powered, 9mm or whatever load, but it is good for training. And if you can pick up an airsoft training pistol, I highly recommend them. They're fantastic. 10 out of 10. Would do again. Did that for a long time when I couldn't afford to shoot on the regular. By taking all of these fundamentals of good marksmanship, everything that we should be doing every time that we pull the trigger, and isolating it, and getting really, really, really good at doing those things by themselves, we're able to build a better process when we're actually doing it for real. Like, let's look at, again, Karate Kid. What is Daniel San doing? Wax on, wax off. What is he doing here? He's building muscle memory. Let me say that again. Building good, solid muscle memory. Because it's not just that, oh yeah, you're just waxing the car and taking the wax back off. No, there's very specific motions that Miyagi has him going through in order to build that memory so that it's automatic. So then later in the movie, when Daniel San's freaking out and complaining and doing normal teenager stuff, Miyagi's able to show him exactly why he had him doing that. And it's the same thing that we want to be doing when we're doing all of our dry fire, is we should be doing everything consistently and to the best of our ability, because guess what? We're not on the clock. Nobody's life is in danger. This is the time to build solid muscle memory and get better. They say that practice makes perfect. That is absolutely false. Perfect practice makes perfect. Again, perfect practice makes perfect. You can't just go out there, spend 500 rounds in a weekend, mag dumping in the trash and thinking that you're going to become a better shooter. I mean, sure, if you throw enough money at it, yeah, you'll probably luck into picking up a couple of points here and there and probably be a slightly better shooter. But you're not going to be as good as the guy that's actually sitting down, isolating everything that he does, finding where his deficiencies are, finding where he can be faster, finding where he can be more consistent, and making that habit. So what should we be doing then? Ideally, dry firing every day. Now, I'm not saying go and dry fire for hours every day. 5 or 10 minutes a day. I promise you, that's all that it takes. 5 or 10 minutes of just good, concentrated, quality dry fire will make you a better shooter if you're doing everything right. If you're dry firing at home, let's say that you're a new shooter and you haven't carried before. This is your first carry gun. Practice going to the grip. Practice establishing a firm, good shooting grip from the draw And just do that over and over and over and over again until it becomes habit, until you do it every time without thinking about it. Then move forward. Draw it from the holster. Make sure that you're doing that without flagging yourself. Make sure that you're doing that in a manner that is going to be safe and consistent. Do that 50 times. Do that 100 times if you need to. Do that until it becomes automatic. Practice it until you don't need to think about it. Practice it until I don't even have to mentally work my way through everything that I need to do. My hand goes to the gun. It comes up in a safe way every time. I press out, establish a two-handed grip, line up the sights, and squeeze the trigger automatically. With good grip, with good follow-through, with good finger alignment on the trigger, with a good clean press to the rear of the trigger. Everything that goes into good marksmanship, you need to do it the same every time. You need to be consistent with it. And you need to do it automatically. If seconds matter, if this ever actually does become something where this is, a make or break, I'm going to do this, or I am going to possibly not make it to tomorrow, I need to be able to do this fast and consistent. That doesn't necessarily come from just spending, 500 rounds in a weekend, 1,000 rounds in a weekend, whatever, at the range. And the best part about dry firing, it's free. It costs you nothing. You already own the gun. You already own the holster. Do your reloads suck? Well, guess what? Empty some magazines, practice reload. Do that until it becomes automatic. It doesn't cost you anything. I can do it all day, and it's not going to cost me a penny. It's amazing. The only thing it takes is time and dedication. And that's something we should all have if we want to be better. Anyways, I hope that motivates you to take some time to practice at home so that way your next range trip can be even more productive. As always, everyone be safe, be kind to others, and act responsibly, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Draw from the holster, press out, acquire your target, press on the trigger. Don't disturb. God damn it. I put my hand in front of the mic. No! I disrupted my image. That was such a good recording. Damn it.